Hello and welcome to the Naked Expat Channel. Now let me ask you something right up front. When you picture your retirement, what do you see? For some, it's sitting on a beach in Thailand with a cold beer. For others, it's sipping wine in Spain or living quietly in the hills of Colombia. Maybe it's endless travel. Maybe it's simply freedom from the grind. But here's the big question. What happens after the honeymoon? What happens when the beaches all start to look the same? When the days start to blend together? And when you suddenly realise you've got 20 or 30 years of retirement ahead of you to fill? That's the part that no one really talks about. Everyone tells you to get ready financially, but almost no one prepares you for the psychological side of retirement, especially when you've moved abroad. And I'll be blunt, if you don't understand the 4 phases I'm about to share with you, there's a good chance you'll end up stuck, lonely, or even heading back home with regrets. But if you stick with me until the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap that shows you not just how to survive retirement abroad, but how to actually thrive, whether you're in Latin America, Asia, or Europe. So let's dive in. Every single day, tens of thousands of Westerners retire, and more of them are looking beyond their home countries for their next chapter. Latin America, Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, fantastic weather, affordable living, vibrant cultures. Asia, Thailand, the Philippines, Vietnam, Bali and Indonesia. These are all famous for low costs, adventure and established expat communities. And of course, Europe, Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, rich culture, history, food, and that slower Mediterranean pace of life that's so attractive in retirement. And I've met hundreds of expats across Latin America, Asia and Europe. Some are thriving, some are just getting by, and some are downright miserable. And the difference usually isn't money, it's mindset. If you're finding this interesting so far, hit that like button. It helps my channel reach more people who might need to hear this. Let's start with the first phase, the vacation stage. This is what most people picture when they dream of retirement abroad. No alarm clocks, no office politics, no deadlines, just freedom. If you land in Thailand, this might look like beach bars, massages, street food, and the thrill of exploring temples and night markets. If you're in Spain or Portugal, it might be long, lazy lunches, afternoon siestas, and weekends exploring medieval towns. In Mexico or Costa Rica, it could be salsa dancing, surfing, or sunsets that take your breath away night after night. And honestly, it's brilliant. You should enjoy this stage to the fullest. You've worked hard, you've earned it, and this is the dream come true. But here's what very few people tell you. It won't last forever. After a year, maybe 2, the holiday feeling starts to fade. The beach starts to feel ordinary, the cheap beer isn't exciting anymore, and the freedom to wake up whenever you want can start to feel empty and boring. And one day you catch yourself thinking, is this really it? Is this what the rest of my retirement will look like? And when that thought creeps in, you're heading into phase 2. This is where many expats hit the wall. In phase 2, you start to feel the 5 big losses. loss of routine, loss of identity, loss of purpose, loss of old relationships, and sometimes loss of influence or status. Back home, maybe you were a respected professional, a teacher, a business owner, or just mum or dad to your kids. Abroad, suddenly you're just another foreigner in a bar or a face at immigration once a year. It hits harder than you'd expect. Then you face 3Ds. Divorce. Many couples won't survive the transition abroad. Depression. Without purpose, many expats numb themselves with alcohol, Netflix, or isolation. Decline. Aging doesn't stop. If anything, it speeds up when you're inactive or disconnected. I've met guys in Asia who spend every day drinking by noon, their health falling apart. I've met retirees in Europe who thought sun and sangria would fix everything, only to feel lonely because they never learned the language or integrated into local life. And sadly, some never leave this stage. They get stuck. By the way, if you've seen expats like this, or maybe even felt yourself slipping into this stage, drop a comment in the comment below. It's a conversation worth having, and you might help someone else by sharing your story. But if you recognize it for what it is, and you refuse to accept it, you can move into phase 3. This is where things start to turn around. Phase 3 is about asking, how can I make my life meaningful again? What will get me out of bed in the morning? And the only way to find that answer is to experiment, to try, to fail, and to try again. I've seen all sorts of expat reinventions. A British man in Portugal who started a vineyard, not for profit, but for passion. A Canadian in Thailand who started teaching English part-time just to feel useful. An American couple in Mexico running cooking classes for tourists. And a woman right here in the Philippines volunteering at an animal shelter to find more joy than she ever did in corporate life. And yes, there are failures. I've seen expats lose money opening bars, cafes, restaurants and sari-sari stores. I've seen people burn out trying to live their 20s all over again. But the key here is to keep experimenting, because every new attempt pulls you further away from that dangerous slide back into phase 2. If you're still with me here, make sure to subscribe, because I've got upcoming videos that go deep into practical ways expats can reinvent themselves abroad. And if you keep pushing, you'll eventually land in phase 4. This is where the magic happens. Phase 4 is when you've reinvented yourself. You've built a new routine. You've found your purpose again, and you've created life that's not just about you, but it's about contribution. And then here's the secret that I've noticed. The happiest expats almost always find a way to give back. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be mentoring younger digital nomads, teaching English to local kids, starting a walking group, or organising beach cleanups. In Spain, I met a retired teacher who runs free English classes for underprivileged kids. In Thailand, I know a group of retirees who clean beaches once a month. And in Costa Rica, I met a man who teaches yoga for free right on the beach. And when you reach this stage, all those things you lost in phase 2, routine, identity, purpose, relationships, they come back, but this time on your terms. This is when you're really squeezing the juice out of retirement. So let me leave you with this. Phase 1 is the holiday. Enjoy it fully. Phase 2 is the crash. Expect it, prepare for it, and don't get stuck. Phase 3 is the grind. You're experimenting, failing, and trying again. And finally, phase 4 is where you've reinvented yourself, you start giving back, and you start thriving in retirement. Retirement abroad isn't just about stretching your pension or finding the cheapest beer. It's about building a life with meaning, good health, and connection in the new place you call home. And trust me, if you embrace the journey and push through the tough stages, retirement abroad can be the most rewarding chapter of your life. So where are you right now? Are you still dreaming of phase 1? Are you stuck in phase 2? Are you experimenting in phase 3? Or have you made it to phase 4? Drop me a comment in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.